All right. Man, something's not doing well. Um, yeah, but anyway, we are live. Sorry that I'm uh late for about like close to 8 minutes. The computer is certainly just not happy. My screen is got messed up somehow. But anyway, let's get started. So welcome to the channel. And in this video, I'm going to work on the just-func and create an interpreter in PHP. So in the last video, we have been trying to do the work on the JSON schema and try to make it work with the dynamic reference and dynamic anchor. And then after the video, I checked with the team, I in the issue that I opened, and they are very helpful and help to figure things out. And so it turns out the reference, the dynamic reference is indeed the way to go. And then we have made some fix to the schema that we have, but I'm not going to show it right now because as we talked about in the last video, it doesn't work today with in terms of the tooling support, right? VS Code doesn't support it, and including the AGV, the JavaScript JSON parser also doesn't fully support it yet. It has the that one is support the 2019 schema, and they said they also support the dynamic reference and anchor, but there might be some problem. I haven't really checked back yet. I'm as I now have this have my schema fixed. Hopefully it will work, then that's a good thing. But even with that, since the VS Code still not supporting it, and for me, having the good user experience in terms of when you're filling in, your YAML file or your JSON, and able to have completion and validation on the IDE is very important. So we're not going to go that route yet, although I do have the version that's working and it is validated online with the I think it's hyper something. What's that tool called? Well, that's a good thing to share. So let me show it over here. So at the end, essentially this JSON schema hyper jump. So this is able to validate the schema is correct and able extends. But of course, this is just for validation. It doesn't get the benefit of completion and so on, right? But this is a very good tool, and I use it, try to figure it out, and able to validate it. So that's great. So anyway, back to this. So we are going to work on the interpreter. So what you see here is I have the workspace set up in VS Code that we have this just-func PHP, and I was working on this interpreter, right? So what we're going to do is TDD style and try to stream things, just try to add stuff along the way. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so what I have here is I start writing the test. I just finished the first few tests. So if the data is null, then it will return null, and if it's a empty array, meaning it's trying to do an operation but doesn't have anything, and it also return null. And then another thing I want to mention that is this case, this is null. Well, of course, because in PHP there's no undefined, right? The only bottom value is null, which thank God, right? It's not like JavaScript, right? So it returns null, and then add the test for literals, and so that is also fine. And then so let's also just in case test the integer, although it's the same thing. And you can see the test is passing, so that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to base on the just-func definition. So let me put it in the middle over here. Let's see what, yeah, let's just keep it like that. Okay, and get this a little bit lower. So there are a bunch of functions that we need to implement, right? So we have a not, although we can do other things, but since I have this on my screen, so let's implement that, right? So let's add a test, execute. Well, it's simple enough, so I'm not going to make it too complicated. So the operation is a not, then it will return true. Let's actually just put this over here, so we have more space to work with. So if it is true, then it will return false, and if it is false, it will return true, right? Of course, there will be other cases we need to look at. So what if it is a number, right? And then what should this be, and also other case, and we will get to that in a moment. But first, let's get this to work. And of course, this is failing, right? And so what we did over here, by the way, so just to give an overview of what we have right now here is we have this interpreter, right? So it's very straightforward. We have an execute function, and then we pass in the code. So the code that we receive, we are expecting it to be an array. The reason is instead of passing a JSON string and then do things is because the usage, right? The usage we are trying to deal with the code, and the code is naturally fall into array or object. And then another reason is because the media that we're going to keep those program is in either a JSON file, JSON-C, which is the same as JSON with comments, and also YAML. And when because the format is different, say JSON and YAML is very different, right? So when we actually read the code, and in order to pass it in, say for example for YAML, we have to pass it, pass the YAML first, and both YAML and JSON naturally pass back into just object literals, right? Or in PHP term is associative array. So that's why we are choosing, okay, just give me an array and then we will deal with it, right? That's the logic behind this. That's why we are taking an array. Okay. So the first thing, well, if it's literal, that's simple. So then we essentially have a switch statement over here. After this, then it is an array. And if it is in array, by the way, we haven't deal with object yet. And with the current spec, the initial spec, I'm not considering object at the moment. Just everything just list, right? So it makes things easy. It makes it easy to interpret essentially, and it's closer to Clojure and Lisp. So that's what we what we're dealing with. So after that, this is an array, and so the first entry, right? So then we can get the operator. Well, actually, instead of doing that, then let's do a count. Right, let's do a count of code. Right, and just do that. Count of code equals to 0. If this is equal to 0, then return null to preserve this behavior. If not, then the operation would be the code 0. Right. Well, let's return that. As for TDD, we can use the test to figure out what the problem is, right? So false match false, not match false, because we are returning up command, well, the operation, and that's, you know, also show that it's passing through and we're getting the right stuff, right? So let's do a switch. Okay. And right now we're doing a switch statement from the beginning. At the beginning, we might change in the later to make it a hash table or something like that, which actually we will, right? We will at the end, because when we try to extend it, you know, doing a switch statement is not a good way to extend it. But anyway, what we have over here, if it is not, then return, let's separate it, right? Not, yeah, just return the code. Okay. And so then the question is, when it is a not, can we work on multiple value, right? So that's very natural, because we have an array, right? So when we have an array, we in the spec right now, what I have is we have the operator and then one value, because I define this as a unary function. So, but what if we are passing in multiple, right? But let's forget about that for now. So just return not code 1, right? So that will pass the test, right? Yes, TDD, right? We try to keep it as TDD. So let's finish this first. I'm thinking, should I break up the test? So test execute not. So what happened is, what if we pass in something that is not a boolean, right? Boolean is easy. What are we going to do when it passes in a null? So my idea is, I want to make it as straight as possible first, because it's always easier to loosen it in the future than tighten it back. So with that idea, I want to, if it's passing null, right? If it's passing null, I'm going to return null. Right? I don't have currently, I don't have any mechanism to emit warning. Well, actually, should I? The question is, should I emit warnings? Actually, I can, and which would be a good thing. But keep that in mind for now. So in either way, I don't want to crash the system because this is an interpret language. I don't want to crash it with now. I'm going to just return now. Okay. So let's copy this over here and pass the now in, and we will say return now. Okay. So run the test, and then asserting true expected now because this is turning the now to true. So let's fix that. Right. So let's do a dumb thing first. If it's now, now. Okay. Do what again? That will pass. Okay, that passed. So that's a good thing, right? But I'm already I don't really want to keep it loose like this. So I am going to add another test to saying it's keeping the same test. Let's think about it. So error. What are we going to do with the error case? What I can do is I can create a message. I can do yeah, I don't want to just log. I want to say errors. What I'm thinking in mind is eventually I might want to have some logs, and then that logs will actually tell me the process, what have been done, so we can use that to kind of debug or analyze the program. So because of that, there will be a lot of this kind of message in different kind of message in the log. So it would be tough to use that to figure out if there's something go wrong, right? So I want to have something else. Then when I want to have something else, then I think, well, should I just have errors or should I have warnings, and should they go together? Right? Should that be placed together? And specifically in this case, right, what should I do? Should I consider this as an error, or should I consider it as a warning? So those are some things need to think about in the future. And but for now, let's say this is an error, right? And then when it is an error, what how should I keep track of it? How should I describe it? So this will be, for sure, will be an array. And then I'll just have an object. Well, in PHP, it's also using associative array would be the best. And so let's say the type, this is an error, and the type of the error, not colon, type of the error will be let's see, invalid type. I don't really like the word invalid. But and then I can show the operation. And then maybe have a message. Expect a single value. Boolean value. Okay. Like that. Okay, something like that. All right. So with that, then that means I have to create this, right? And when at the beginning, you know, when the call is made, I want to be able to say easily check if there's error or not. I don't want to check the count of error is empty or, you know. So array or null. Okay. What should I call it? How should I describe this? About the damn, so bad, but it's okay. Let's keep it like that. Okay. So then at the beginning, I would like to reset it. So actually with that, reset errors, do it like that. And this is basically just saying errors equal to null. This will initialize it, and then this will add the error in there. Right, and then just array push, and then this error, and the error. Yeah. Okay. So what is this error info? Right. So this error info, I can, yeah, let's just keep doing it. Will be just that, and then just do the type, edit type, and then that. Right now I'm just copy and pasting. That might not be the best thing to do. And then so since this need to use that guy, so I can't do this anymore. So need to change this to an instance method. Save that. So let's run. So now it's passed. And with that, I want to start with something. Right, so execute success will have errors to be null. Right, so this is a success call, and so then I can assert null and then say this as errors. Okay, and so that passed. So that's fine. So that's take care of that. So now take a look at these. I really feel like I don't like the word invalid type, but let's take care of that later on, because right now we only have one error, and you know, when we have more error, there are more types of error, then we know more about it. And also another thing is I do this instead of create objects, and because that's heavy, you really don't need it. That's why I just keep it like this. Right, so with one. Okay, now this will be a hard one. So if it is one, say I want to return, set it to null, but oh, it works. What? What? What does it? What if it's 0? Okay, 0 will be true. 1, 2 will be false. False will be. Oh, yeah. It's either case. I know one will fail. Okay. Because this is something specific to PHP, which we got this is no 0. It's still false. Oh. Well, if that is the case, then that's good. So this is a not operator that I want to work with only Boolean. I want to work with real Boolean. I don't want to deal with even 0 and 1. As I mentioned, I want to keep it tight. So that is one of it is failing, and then what we can do here value is if well, actually in this case I can really do this. If values equals to true, return false. If value equals false, true. Else no. There you go. Right. Well, if non-Boolean returns no. I don't care about all the rest. So if it is 0, if it is 1, if it is 0, if it is 1, if it is true, if it is false, all of this will return no. Right, so that's what I want. Okay, so that's that take care of that. And so now what else can I do for the not operator? I feel like that's it. I feel like that's all we need to do. Oh, the other thing, what if there are more than yeah. So let's do that to test 2, which is one with no param. Returns no. and I'm not really testing the add error stuff because I know it will already work. And over here the message is it applies to all of those cases. So test execute. The other one, this one is a different issue problem with more than one param. So what were we going to do? If we talk about functional programming, we can either support this case. That's one more case, which is when it is an array. But on this one, what should we do? Should we just flip all those values and return it? But the question is what to return, right? We can return it. It only makes sense to return the first one or return the last one. But if you think about functional programming, I don't think, going off track right now. I'm still quite new to functional programming, and I still have a lot to learn in that regard. So the choice I made right now might not be optimal, but I would say just for the sake of it, I would still just return now. Okay. I'm not going again. I rather to keep it tight than make it loose to begin with. So let's do that. Undefined array key 1. Okay. Actually, so this one actually failed. So if count code equals 2, and I'm going to do this. Right, let's take our full case. All right, so the last one for this function, the not function, is with array, right? What will happen? So let's take a look at that. Okay. If I'm returning array, say, or I'm doing true and false. This one, my gut feeling is I should go in and flip everyone. But right now at this stage, again, let me just keep it like that, and the code will support it to begin with, so that's good. All right, I think we have enough tests for these, and you can see, just that we have like how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tests, right? And if we get into the array one, it will be even more. So the last things I'm going to do is actually separating this test out. Right, and do it like that. in these. Right, the name. I can also remove it. Curtain net. Well, so in this case, I can remove this guy, and then over here, I can remove that. Because unfortunately, in PHP, the PHP unit, you don't have nesting, right? Grouping in the same file. But in either way, in this case, doing everything in the same file and then nesting in is not necessarily a good approach, because there will be a lot of tests. So I changed this one and not that one. Okay. And the test, there you go. We still have 10, it's all passed, and we're good to go. All right, so let's stop over here and let's recap, right? So what have we done? In this video, we try to start implementing the interpreter in PHP, and we went through the basics of what the just function is, and also go for the last the result of the last video. Oh, actually, besides about that, I have also organized the JSON schema into the one that we are going to use and going to implement, and then also the other 3 drafts that we will have. This 07 is the same one that we're going to use. And then this is the 2019 one, which is using the recursive cursor and recursive anchor, and then the 2021 is using the dynamic anchor. And then also compared to the video last time, I have reorganized the tests to separate them out, so I don't have to copy the files all over the place and create different names and so on, right? So they are pretty organized. If you're interested, you can go online, go to GitHub and take a look at them to see how it works and right. So back to this. So we go through those, and then we start looking at the interpreter on the PHP side. And one of the things notice is right now we just adding the first operation or first function, the not function, and then we just use switch statement. Later on this will be changed, but for now it's okay. And then we also add a way to track the errors, right? And this we're also going to change one. And then for the error, right now we're doing this pop message. One of the benefit of this code as data programming, I want to say what homo iconic, but we are not there yet actually. And I'm actually thinking, am I on the right track to say it will be homo iconic? I'm not sure, but at least it works as a code as data. It's just a list. And the benefit is that then we can just put the code into some message and return it, and people can look at it and see what's going on, right? So that is one of the big benefit of this kind of programming language. So anyway, we have that. We implement a bunch of tests, and also we decide to keep it as tight as possible right now. So there's no type conversion, no casting, no nothing. Just keep it straight, and rely on the error mechanism to report those issues, right? So maybe this will change in the future, but I don't think so. I don't want to mess this up. And it likely will keep it this way, but we'll see when we're actually doing the implementation or in application and see how it goes. So all right, that's it for this video, and hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and we will see you in the next one.